Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984.
Good morning and welcome to Alien from Planet X. And I hope that you do. I hope that you do. Hope that you will enjoy this particular episode. Try to be funny. That wasn't very funny. That was a terrible Gary Oldman impression. I've got Gary Oldman on the mind. Book of Eli has been popping up a lot. Like on my breaks, I watch a little bit of television at work. And they mentioned that, and I own that movie. I have it on DVD, Blu-ray, and I have the Steelbook Blu-ray. And I swear I did not buy all those on purpose. I admit I love that movie. Become a really huge fan of that. In fact, that's way, way near the top of my absolutely favorite post-apocalypse films. Of course, Mad Max 2 being number one. And I was thinking about that earlier. Like, what are my favorite post-apocalypse films? Right offhand, not really in order, except for Mad Max 2, because that's number one for me, The Road Warrior. But so you got Mad Max 2, a.k.a. The Road Warrior, The Book of Eli, Children of Men, which I know is more dystopian, but I have that in with my post-apocalypse films. I love that freaking movie. Exterminators of the Year 3000, The New Barbarians, a.k.a. Warriors of the Wasteland, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Mad Max Fury Road. I mean, I gotta say Mad Max, of course, you know, the original. It's great, and I love it. I don't know why am I even pausing. That's on the list, but, you know, I gotta say, Mad Max 2 blows it away. It blows away all post-apocalypse films to me. And I'm supposed to be doing my list here. So, there's another big one I really like. The Rover, freaking awesome. It seems like nobody talks about that movie. It's got Guy Pearce and Robert Pattinson in it, and it's freaking great. I've watched it like 3 times now, and I just want to watch it again. It's so good. Wow. It's like The Book of Eli. It's just so freaking good. I mean, it's like shot, you know, it's like a big movie and everything, but it's really, you know, they're both, those are really interesting movies. And for like, you know, newer ones, awesome. I love Bleak Future. I've barely ever seen that one mentioned. I've seen like maybe one review and people totally crapped all over it. That's like a really low budget one. This guy's traveling across a wasteland. It's got some bad guys in it. The leader looks kind of like a member of Gwar. In fact, it kind of reminds me of Odorous Urungus. Like some weird mutant guy with like an extra little face on his face. Really cool, fun movie. Anywho, yeah, I was thinking about post-apocalypse films earlier, and that's definitely one of my very favorite genres. It really appeals to me for some odd reason. I don't know, the lone warrior out in the wasteland and some badass vehicle. And it all started with Mad Max 2, and then, you know, it's gone all the way up to like, you know, like I mentioned, you know, just said The Rover, The Book of Eli, and all these just, you know, films that make you want to take a bath because they're like, just like, you know, in the future, it's all kind of desert, sweaty, and all that stuff. I just love that stuff. I have like probably 4 or 5 pairs of shoulder pads at home. I've got like shin guards, knee pads, all that stuff. I love that stuff. I've got a hockey mask. I actually got like 5, but the real hockey mask I have, I got it from my friend Sean, and I ended up spray painting in black, which I learned my lesson. Don't ever frickin' spray paint in a uncirculated, you know, area that has like no air running. That's really stupid. But yeah, I need more stuff. I've got like a catcher's mask, like an old school catcher's mask. I've got a whole bunch of stuff. I need to get like, I don't know what you call that thing that guards your crotch. It's not a crotch guard, but like a cup. I want to get something made of like really strong material. I think it'd be cool to have one to like have spikes all over it, or like a Blackie Lawless big saw blade on it. That'd be really cool. And I've got like, you know, spike gauntlets, and I love that stuff, man. It's like one of my very favorite genres. I've got a lot of, I'll do my Mad Max 2 episode one of these days. Probably like the closest thing to, I don't want to really say religion, but, you know, something very deep for me. I love it. I freaking love that movie so much. It's like, you know, like I said, my favorite movie of all time. It's my favorite post-apocalypse film. It's just perfect. But, you know, I was thinking about those movies, and then I was thinking about life, and, you know, ask myself, what is real, you know? And what is real in this world, because it feels like a dream, you know, like when you know people, you meet people, you talk to people, whatever, and then one day you just don't talk to them anymore. You know, you meet people throughout life. I don't know, let's say like, you know, when you're a kid, when I was a kid, you know, kindergarten, kind of remember some of the people. I remember, you know, when I was really little, I was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 playing on a little league baseball team. I remember that. Remember the first time I rode a bike, crashing into a tree. I automatically crashed into a tree. I remember first time I saw Star Wars. You know, just memories, man, and people you meet, people that you like, people you don't like, people that, you know, are kind of like your enemies, the good and the bad, all that, you know, different people, girls you've had crushes on, you know, and just people they remember. And sometimes, you know, like in my case, I'll look at, like, I have a couple old yearbooks and I'll look at them and I kind of laugh, especially when I look at some of those girls I had a crush on. I'm like, geez, they don't even, you know, look like how I remember. And it's kind of funny, you know, there's good memories there and there's bad memories because a lot of bullying in school crap. But, you know, you get older, you take memories with you, both good and bad, and experiences in life, yet again, both good and bad. I don't know. Some good things happen, bad things happen. I've had good and bad experiences. I've had horrible experiences, and I've had some great experiences in my life. And I was just thinking about, you know, no matter how old I get, I still love a lot of the stuff that I loved as a kid. Some stuff kind of you know. And I really hate to say this, but like, it was like, God, almost 34 years ago, I was a big fan of MacGyver. And it was about a couple of years ago, I found season 1 really cheap used, the DVD collection at Value Village. And you know what? It just, wow, I hate to say this, it did not age well, man. I mean, I used to love that show. I don't want to hate it or anything, but I was just like, you know what I mean? I'm about to probably try to watch the first actual episode, because I watched the pilot and I was like, you know, it's kind of fun, but pretty just hokey. But you know, anyways, there's stuff that from way back that I still to this day think is really cool. I'm just trying to think of stuff that I really like. I don't like the Beetlejuice cartoon from way back, and Duckman, and Danger Mouse is totally still cool. I rediscovered Thundar the Barbarian. I ended up about, I don't know how long it's been, about a year, maybe less. I got the Blu-ray collection of the entire series, and that show is just so cool. There's a lot of innuendo I'd never noticed as a kid, but that was also like 40-something years ago when I was watching Thundar. And, you know, watching, excuse me, I picked up the Scooby-Doo Where Are You collection, which is the only Scooby-Doo that matters to me, the original series from like 1969, and that has been a lot of fun. I've really been enjoying that, and it's pretty corny, but you know what? It was corny back then. It's just a really good time. And I'm still, with the exception of like thinking I was like Mr. Heavy and didn't listen to that stuff for a long time, I still, you know, I love all my so-called poser music, you know, glam poser, whatever, you know. And of course, you know what real glam is? That was like T-Rex and like particular era of David Bowie and New York Dolls and bands like that, you know, just the glitter bands. But anyways, you know, all the bands I really like, you know, they're considered glam posers. You know, like Rat, Dawkins. I always have to specifically say, like, the first Poison album, the first Cinderella album, because everything after their first albums, I'm just like, blessed. But, you know, like the first 4 Motley Crue albums, I love that stuff. I remember I used to like, I'm not really into them now, but I kind of like Pretty Maids, but it seems like they were more like, kind of like more heavy in the early years, and then they kind of cheesed out like a lot of bands. Like, I thought TNT was pretty cool. I tried to listen to them again. I was like, oh, wow. I couldn't even get into it. But, you know, kind of, you know, going into a little, like, slightly heavier, well, I would say actually quite a bit heavier, but, like, you know, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Motorhead. I love all that stuff. I still love all that stuff. Manowar, certain albums I really love by them. But, you know, I take all that with me. And no matter what, no matter how old I get, I'm still into a lot of the stuff that I loved way back, like comic books. And I need to go back to the comic book shop. I haven't been there in a while, but I know everything's good. And I'll be going back. I got to pick up a lot of stuff, but I've got a ton of comic books. I've got too many. In fact, I don't know if I would find the time, start going through it to see what I really want to get rid of, because I've got too much stuff in my life and I need to really clear up, just get rid of stuff, you know what I mean? But absolutely only if I really want to. I'm not just going to go, oh, well, you know, I don't need any of this. I'm just going to get rid of what I really don't need. and I need to reorganize my entire comic book collection, which I will. But shoot, just thinking about life, man. Good times, bad times, happy times, sad times, regrets. And sometimes I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit regretful lately, and I shouldn't. A couple episodes ago, I was all excited. I'm like, man, I called this old friend of mine. This friend of mine I haven't talked to in a year, and I was feeling kind of bad about it because I haven't heard back from her. I sent her a message. I was just like, hey, have a good one. Talk to you later. I sent her a stupid picture of myself. And then tonight, earlier, I deleted my message. I'm like, oh, I probably didn't even see it. And then I'm thinking to myself, wait a second, why am I being an asshole? It's just like, man, you can't expect so much of people, just because you may have liked them a lot for a while, may have had a big crush on them, doesn't mean, you got to learn from experiences, and it's unfair. And I had made a vow to her that, I'm never going to pull that again, like, quit talking to you and stuff. And the other night it was last week. It was nice, really nice talking to her. And to be honest, I don't know, maybe part of me is thinking I shouldn't have called, that I should have just said, whatever, quit talking to her a year ago, maybe just don't talk to her. And then I'm like, oh no, I want to talk to her. It just, things like that just kind of bum me out. I don't know. It's almost like, you're expecting something. You can't expect, I don't even know if I'm even making any sense here. I don't even know if she's even ever going to hear the show, because I may never actually hear from her again. And I admit that makes me kind of sad, but on the other hand, it's like, hey, you know what? If that's how it is, that's how it is. But that's been kind of eating away at me a little bit, and it just makes me feel like a real jerk. But also just like, Jesus, man, move on, get a life. Everybody's different, not everybody, reacts how you want them to. If people reacted how you wanted them to, in your mind or whatever, things would be bright perfect, but they're not. And I don't know, I get sick and tired of saying, oh, life is too short. We know that. I don't know. I'm just really tired of, like, keep saying, oh, I'm trying to better myself. And I am, but I don't think I'm really trying that hard. But just like little things like that I just mentioned, talking about this friend of mine, and, it just makes me sad, and it shouldn't eat away at me, but it does. And it's not something that I'm going to go into, but, I don't know. That's just how life goes, you hope for certain things, and, a lot of times they don't happen. That's all in dreams and stuff. And, I've kind of gotten myself down on all that too. Like, before I was just like, oh, all the dreams I have, nothing will happen. And, I face the facts of reality that a lot of the dreams I have are literally impossible. They're not going to happen. But, hey, I still think about certain things. I think about dreams. I think about stuff that, I really wish with all my heart could happen. And it most likely, none of that will ever happen. And people don't like dream is. But anyways, that's what happens when you are a lonely kid and you're, which I still am, but, really being into science fiction and all that stuff. And then later on in life, not too much later, actually, maybe I'd say about age of 12, discovered Japanese animation. And that really opened up a whole new world. You add that with like Star Wars and Star Trek and all the other great sci-fi movies and the TV shows and stuff. I don't know, it builds up this like huge imagination, man. And then, as a kid, I saw like Conan the Barbarian and Excalibur and, movies like Tron and The Black Hole and just all that stuff. I ate it all up. Clash of the Titans, Jason and the Argonauts, all that other kind of like fantasy, Greek mythology, all that kick-ass fun stuff. I love all of it, man. It makes me happy, and I still love that stuff. I'm slowly turning gray. I'm beat up. I'm tired, but I still love all that stuff. That stuff fuels me, and it keeps me going. All the stuff like that's fueled my imagination. And I don't know, man. It's like, I think about all kinds of crazy stuff, It's like every time I go to sleep, I'm laying on my floor, my so-called bed, and I imagine the girl of my dreams is laying next to me. And you know what? We're on a huge ship, and I fall asleep like that almost every single night. it's kind of like a safety net. Have an imagination. A lot of people my age is just like, they probably gave up all those fantasies and dreams. And, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. But, everything that I'm into, that I was into, and whatever, I cherish it all, and all my music and noise and art and, everything I look at in my house, the toys I have, and lots of figurines. I have lots of figurines of Batman and Catwoman, and I have the Dead or Alive. A lot of these mystery box figures I got years ago. I bought the whole collection at the comic book shop. So I'm such a geek, but I love all that stuff, and I still play video games, and I ride my bike. I can't afford a car, and I've had the same job February of 2024, 30 freaking years, man, and I don't really have a lot to show for it. I really don't. And the whole thing about people saying, oh, you'll grow up. I got told that when I was a kid. It's what ways days you're going to grow up, give up your Star Wars fantasies. What's funny? I never gave up any of that stuff. I mean, I got out of Star Wars for a long time. It wasn't that I hated it. I just ended up getting more interested in other stuff. For a while there was just pretty much music. And of course, I was always watching movies. And in fact, for a while there, I'd say a couple of years, I was major into watching, martial arts films, 70s kung fu stuff. A lot of Hong Kong action films, which I used to have a lot on VHS, copies, and I lost all of them. And I was very heavily into anime. I would watch, a lot of times on Sunday nights, I'd watch about 8 or 9 hours worth every night, Sunday nights. But I never give up any of that stuff. It's like my band I talked about in the last episode, the Earwigs. That is a part of my childhood world. When I play shows, I have fun. I like to wear costumes, man. It's just a lot of some of the Japanese metal bands from the early 80s, who was it? I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right, but Sekima 2. They look like devils and stuff. They look totally cool. They have this kabuki style makeup on, and their music is really badass. And of course, I mentioned Gwar and all. I love theatrics. I'm a huge fan of theatrics. Can't believe I needed to bring up that I love Alice Cooper. And Alice Cooper is one of my biggest inspirations. I'm not into everything he did. I'm mainly more into the Alice Cooper group. But I like some of his later solo stuff. I love Welcome to My Nightmare. I freaking love Constrictor, Raise Your Fist and Yell. I like some of Trash. I'm not the biggest fan of that album. In fact, I wrote a letter to his fan club and I said, this album is horrible. It belongs in the trash. This album is a disappointment. And why don't you go back and sing songs about stabbing dolls and doing scary things on stage? It was kind of funny because I don't know if anybody ever even read that letter. I don't know. Maybe somebody didn't laugh, but I was 18 or 19 at the time, and I was really upset. But anyways, Alice Cooper's awesome. I have a lot of Alice Cooper music in my collection. But especially his early stuff with the original band was that stuff is just pure magic. And the Greatest Hits is every single song on that album. I need to get that CD again. I gave that to my dad and my stepmom a couple years ago. I need to get it again because even though I have all the albums with the songs, I still need that because every song, just you play it and it's just it's freaking gold. I got to see Alice Cooper quite a few years ago. I don't know, 6 years ago or so. I saw him with Dawkins, and Dawkins was really awesome. And my friend Danny warned me, he's like, dude, just plug your ears and smile. I didn't plug my ears. You know what? Don sounded pretty good. It was just kind of sad because it was only original members were Don Dawkins and was it Mick Brown on drums, who's no longer playing drums. He retired because he said his hands are just all screwed up, which is sad. But they had these other two guys in a band, and they were excellent. They were really great. Alice Cooper was just freaking awesome, and I was mesmerized. I had tears in my eyes. In fact, I think I had a tear run down my face. But Alice Cooper, all those guys like Alice Cooper, King Diamond, and I like Satan Panonsky. That guy was something else. It's just too bad. I don't know. There's crazy stuff. You look him up. Some pretty crazy stuff about him, but he was kind of like G.G. Allen, kind of doing his own thing, really primitive punk rock. I wish I could find his music. I found it on YouTube, but it's I would love to, I don't know, I wish somebody would put his stuff out on CD. He was a legend, always will be. And of course, G.G. Allen, massive influence on me. And I've been a huge G.G. Allen fan since 89. I'm definitely going to do an episode dedicated to Gigi, and talk about some stories about meeting Merle and the Murder Junkies, meeting Dino. And that was a fun time. It was pretty hilarious. But a lot of those people inspire me, like, especially, big time G.G. Allen, man. A lot of people hate that guy. That's fine. You don't have to like him. And I get really tired of saying, I don't agree with everything he did. Well, guess what? He did what he did, and he did it, and blah, blah, blah. Is it excusing what, some of the bad, crappy things he did? No. But G.G. was G.G., man. But anyways, he's been a major inspiration to me, and part of the reason why I don't give a damn, I guess I kind of do. That's something I keep saying, I don't care what anybody thinks about me. But if I didn't, I wouldn't get so defensive, I wouldn't be so, as I like to put it a while back, I was like, being sensitive. And I recently had a friend tell me, we talked about that. As a friend of mine I talked about, talked to last week. And she always, says nice things. But she's like, there's nothing wrong with being sensitive. And I appreciate it. But even in regards of her, I don't know, I've just been real sensitive about all that too, and it sucks. I hate being sensitive. Sometimes I wish I was just a total scummy asshole, but I can't be. I'm not going to put on an act to be something I'm not. It's how I am, man. So I don't know. I think this episode is about life. Yeah, I wish I could remember that band that did an album, Life, but How to Live It or something. I don't remember. I can't remember, some punk band or something. But anyways, this episode's about, I guess, life, man. I did one a while back. I was talking about a bunch of random stuff, but just kind of thought about it. And I was like, thinking, well, maybe I won't do any more episodes for a while. But like I said, if you're hearing this, then you're hearing it. It's all been edited, and I'm actually looking forward to hearing what people think about this show, if they like it or not. Watching some offer thing, and holy crap, these people look like they're really getting on. Some dude and this beautiful woman just like kissed big time. I'm like, how many times did you do that for your performance? Yeah, she's really pretty. It's like some romance like offer thing. That's cool. It's a channel. It's called the Arts Channel, and but I gotta tell you, consider all the crap that's on TV, definitely a lot better than all that other garbage. It just all gets kind of like what I've been accused of being sometimes, overwhelming. There's all the negativity and garbage, and the art stuff, like, is nice. It's just mellow and cool, and just, it's lovely to me. But yeah, I was just thinking about life, man. Questioning the validity of it. Is it real? Because sometimes it doesn't feel real. Sometimes life feels like a dream. It's like I'm sitting here right now doing this episode, and maybe somebody in the far future will hear it and think, who's this guy? I don't know, some weirdo. But, it's good, it's bad. It's like anything else. That's why I keep breathing. I keep trying to make it, man, because you never know. Something beautiful and awesome might happen the next day. Something horrible might happen. You never know. Life is pretty amazing. Being alive is pretty amazing. I was just thinking about, like, the other day, got the news. A friend of mine was trying to get hold of me, and my phone was off because I had to get, I had to buy, like, a new card to get it going because they turned it off. Anyways, found out that a friend of mine I really liked, he died. He passed away, apparently cardiac arrest. He's still, I haven't talked to the guy in over 2 years, almost probably 3 years now. Because when I worked at one of my last buildings, we were good friends, and we actually hung out on a weekend one day and had a really fun time. We go to the, Halloween store with the Walmart, and as a gift, just for, picking me up, giving me rides all over the place, bought him a Rocket Man on Blu-ray, and I bought him a Sesame Street shirt. Everything I learned from Sesame Street, because he really liked my shirt. I'm like, dude, I just bought you that stuff because you're an awesome dude, and I really appreciate you. And I cried a little bit, too. This is my friend Mike Forster. He was a really, really super cool guy. And I'm a little bit bummed out because when I got out of that building, they transferred me. He quit talking to me, and I was just like, I don't know. I thought about it. I was offended for a while, and I'm like, well, that dude was really busy. He worked like 3 jobs. The guy was always on the go. So unfortunately, I think that's what ended his life. I just hope he's in a better place now because, Mike, you were a really freaking awesome dude. I thank you for all the books you gave me and 2 bookshelves. I still have all that stuff. I really appreciate it, man. I love you, and rest in peace. I still have great memories of hanging out that one day. In fact, I hung out with another friend named Mike, and we all went out to Coeur d'Alene. This was like, I don't know, 4 years ago? Nah, it'd have been longer than that, but we went out to Coeur d'Alene one day and had a really fun time. Really good time. Just a joyous, fun time, and I'll always cherish those memories. So thank you, buddy. And also to you, Mike, my friend, who just retired like a couple weeks ago. I don't blame him. I just wish I could win the lottery and like I could do more with my life and just da-da-da. It's like I'm working every day, and I'm tired. I'm beat up, man. I guess this is part of the game of life, you know? It's not like that cereal, though. You eat it. Why do you like that cereal? Or just work it. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with that. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm delirious. And then later today, I have to get up at like 8 in the morning because I get a guy come over and fix some stuff in the house. So that's pretty cool. But I'm also like, oh my God, I'm going to sleep like less than 5 hours. God, I'm not looking forward to that. But on the other hand, I guess earlier the better. It's the only time that a landlord could get someone over. Anyways, I just want to say that I really am enjoying doing the show because, you know, it gives me something to do. And considering how flaky I've been with a lot of stuff, all the stuff I want to do, I haven't really done anything, but at least I have enough energy to do this show. And believe me, like I said, if you're listening to this right now, then you know that the show is out. It's been out. It's probably been out for a while. So kind of going into is it the past or the future? Let's see if this is now. Yeah, it'll be in the future that you folks hear this. I'm sure, like I said, we'll have a setup. I'm sure people can leave comments. Go for it. You know, you can like say the show sucks or you like it or whatever. And that's the thing that I'm always appreciative is I do get a lot of kind words about just, I don't know, stuff I do. Sometimes I get a lot of I get crap too. Like, you know, that's fine. That's all part of it, you know. People get different opinions and different likes. And I was going to say, I'll probably end this. This isn't really a bad note or anything, but it's been kind of bugging me. But, you know, if you ever have anybody overtly compliment you, like, oh, you're great, you're fantastic. Well, just make sure that the person's real because there's a lot of catfish bullshit out there. And I gotta get on Instagram and I keep getting all these stupid private messages and I block each and every one of those people. Get these idiots like, oh, this girl just turned 18 and check out the hot pics she's doing, you know. That kind of garbage, it's like, that's a whole nother ball game. It's just crap. It's bullshit. But then I get these women like, oh, hi, how are you? And it's always, oh, hi, or oh, hey. And it's the same exact message from a completely different woman. And then I get all these freaking, you can tell they're fake. It's like, they'll say, like, I don't know, Haley1785 liked your picture. And it'll be like, every single picture I put up is by this one woman. And then all of a sudden it's like, you get a private message and it's Haley or whatever her number is I just said. And like, oh, hi. Oh, would you like to see my pictures? Click on this. I'm like, really? Do you think I'm that freaking stupid? And, you know, these people like be like, oh, I bet you're really cute. It's like, you don't even know me. You don't even know what I look like. I was just going to say, if you ever get complimented by somebody, make sure that they're real, that you actually know them. Because, like I said, there's a lot of freaking catfish bullshitters out there, scam artists, and people that will take advantage of you because, oh, they think that you're that lonely. And it's just a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of just vomit. And, you know, it's sad, but it's how it is. You got parasites out there. And I'm just hoping one day that I'll get like a nice compliment, you know. Oh, I've got those compliments before. Oh, you're beautiful, you're talented. No, I'm not. I know what I am. And I appreciate words like that, but really, I know what I am. I'm not. Oh, been called gorgeous once. Talented. I don't think I'm really talented. I mean, yeah. I don't know. It just frustrates me. It's like, you know, if I'm going to get compliments like that, can I please, you know, somebody I actually know face to face, like, can I just, you know what? The girl of my frickin' dreams, could you just come down from outer space and compliment me? You know, that's this whole different thing. It doesn't matter anymore in the bizarre alien's life. The bizarre alien wants the ginger alien. That's all he needs. That's all he wants. And if he can't have her, then he ain't gonna get nobody. And he'll just wander the earth like Kinshiro, a fist of the North Star, looking for his dream woman. But yeah. Shoot. We're getting near the end of this exciting episode. I don't know if any of that made sense, but yeah, anyways, I don't know. Compliments are nice, but I just, you know, somebody says something nice to me. I just hope they're being sincere and not fake, and I'm being dumb right now. I'm also kind of tired, and I've been taking freaking lot of medicine, so I'm going to use that as an excuse. I'm cool. I'm not grumpy. Who knows what the next episode is going to be like. I'm hoping it will be more focused. And my apologies to my producer, Mr. Matson. Yeah, so this has been Beyond the Podcast in 1984. And speaking of that title, which, you know, the first episode was taken from Plasmatics Beyond the Valley of 1984. We'll talk about Wendy Williams pretty soon because I miss her and I love her. And if you're alive and you're my friend or somebody that I care about, I'm happy that you're here. So everybody take care of yourself, especially the people that I care very much about. Please take care of yourself. I love you all. Be well. Stay weird. Keep the filth. This has been the Bizarre Alien. And I'm out of here. Nanu, nanu, nanu. Keep watching the skies, kids. Bye-bye.
Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984.